What's up, guys? Happy New Year. Give me a thumbs up or something if you can see and hear me. We're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to talk about the witches. Witches of Hollywood, witches of TikTok, witches of Twitter. What's up, Clint Eastwood, Third World Assassin? I'm glad you're here. See who else comes. It's January 1st. What's been going on? Hot. Oh, I can't say that name. Give me a thumbs up. Someone said, just finished watching God of War 2018. We might do that one. Yeah. That might be fun. I watched a documentary called The Witches of Hollywood. Actually, this show I wanted to do because somebody on Twitter made me mad. A little mad. Because they were talking about Taylor Swift and witchcraft. And he said, I watched 30 minutes of your Taylor Swift show, but you didn't give any substantial claims. Substantive. I don't even know how he said it. So 30 minutes. And this is what's frustrating. It's like, why are you guys being stupid? Hey, Jethro, what's up? Jamie time. Yeah, Jamie party. We've got, let me put the dono chat link in there. There you go. If you want to send me some donuts, or songs, or super chats, that'd be fun. We're going to talk about witches, and while we're waiting for some more people to get here, what was I talking about? Oh, people on Twitter are making me mad. I think that's what Twitter's for, though, right? That's exactly what they want. To make you mad. But he watched 30 minutes of the Taylor Swift show and said, I didn't make any claims that would prove that Taylor Swift was a witch. But that's not really what I'm trying to prove, because witches don't, according to us, witches don't have that much power, right? Only power they have is through the devil, and nothing can happen to us unless, you know, God wills it. So we're not really worried about being cursed by witches. We're not on a witch hunt. We're not, we do condemn witchcraft, yeah, but we don't burn witches at the stake, and we're gonna get into that more. But yeah, so he said, I didn't make any good, so what I'm claiming is that these people are under mind control, and witchcraft is a part of that, and they're making witchcraft look so appealing to the younger generations that they're not going to care anymore. It's going to be out in the open. It's not going to be hidden witchcraft anymore. It's going to be glamorous. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be successful. It's going to make people feel powerful. So, Happy New Year, guys. January 1st. Glad to see everybody. Yeah, so here, is it 5 minutes in? I'm going to make a claim that Taylor Swift is appealing to witches, and at least thinks of herself partly as a witch. This is from her Instagram. December 14, 2020, Taylor Swift says, witches be like, sometimes I just want to listen to music while pining away, sulking, staring out a window. It's me, I'm witches. Never fear, the Willow Lonely Witch remix is here. So, before 10 minutes, I have already made a substantial claim that Taylor Swift is indeed using witchcraft. And then Billboard came out and said Taylor Swift's newest Willow remix is for all the lonely witches out there. And in the Taylor Swift stream, we talked all about MK Ultra, like we always do, mind control, like we always do. I'm gonna have to probably start reading you my book out loud like children because, oh, look what I got for you guys today. This is what I found at Walmart. So I'm just minding my own business. We live in a place where Walmart's one of the only places where you can shop. And I found this golden book. And I took a picture of the aisle that Beyonce golden book for kids, like 3 and under. It's got Beyonce, Oprah Winfrey, Barack Obama, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and the civil rights movement. So Beyonce is on par with Oprah, Obama, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and all of these black icons, right? So don't tell me this stuff isn't important to pay attention to. It's probably more important to pay attention to pop culture than a lot of things. But I guess while we're waiting for a couple more people to show up, let's gossip a little bit. What happened on Twitter was really funny this week, and it got a lot of people panties in a bunch, so to say, right? Can anyone guess what I want to talk about? Calendar Gate. Do y'all see that? So this is weird, you guys. Like, conservative dads, real women of America. I mean, this is really corny. I guess if the left can't meme, then the right can't corn. Right? Because this is like literally the corniest thing I've ever seen. It's like Bud Light. If you asked AI to make like America calendar, like it might as well have jet skis and bald eagles flying over. So the conservative dad's real women of America calendar. Let's just go through these. Because everyone's arguing whether this is appropriate or tasteful or blasphemous. I mean, at least one picture I think is. What do you guys think? Who came up with the calendar? I don't know. It's just conservative dad. That's why I don't have a party or a title other than I'm just an Orthodox Christian. I don't have I'm not Republican or Libertarian or Democrat or, because this is goofy. It's like if you asked AI to make a Bud Light calendar. I mean, okay, one girl, she's in a full bubble bath in her underwear and diamonds with a beer can tower next to her. You see that? I know. Why did they call the calendar that? It makes it even worse. It's like, are these your daughters that you're proud of? Like it's so weird. And I have never heard of any of these ladies, so I apologize if they're big stars. But this is like, it's like worse than kitsch. It's uncanny valley. Like, why is she sitting in a sink with rainbow flag curtains? Like she's got her little fanny in the sink. I don't know. This is the weirdest corn I've ever seen. The guns. Okay, so here's a bad bee with the guns. And so, is this bad or not? I'm gonna say, team, this is not not awesome. This is lust power, which is exactly what we're going to talk about right now. Satanic witch, because witches don't always come in the form that you think they are, right? And Jethro says, is Ann Coulter in it? No, I think, oh man. This is the one that everyone is complaining about. And this is the one that made it, I think, over the top. Where she's got a pie with the platform heels on. I don't know. It's like that meme. Like, I can't even say the meme. Is Blair White in it? I don't... Someone says, it appeals to the stereotype of dads in the locker rooms. Yeah, exactly. Talking about women. It's just weird. I mean, if you want to make a pinup calendar, do it. But why do you have to, like, be the conservative dads of America and make it patriotic and then act like it's not corn? I don't know. What do you guys think? Happy New Year. This is weird. What else we got? We have, like, a 1920s underneath the pier in a American flag bathing suit. She looks kind of like a 20s Miss America or something. Man, it's tacky, right? What do you guys think? At best. At worst, I mean, the one with the cross in it, that just makes it, like, over the top. But that, yeah, let's sing songs and get our mind off this weird calendar, because Rachel and I did a show about this about 6 months ago, maybe more, where we talked about the Satanic witch and how you use how you dress and your mannerisms and everything to manipulate people by sexual desire. And that's exactly what this calendar is doing. I don't know, man. It's just weird. What do you guys think? Technographics is up here. Thanks for coming. We've got 100 people already, so we'll put that Dono chat link in there one more time. And if you send me donuts, I'll sing songs. And it is January 1st, 2024. I've got children's books about Beyonce. I've got, what is this? Another children's book I found in my collection. Witches by Teresa Ruth. I don't even know how to say that. Reves? So, this witch archetype is straying away now from the ugly hag to the beautiful, like, princess witch. And don't be surprised if that becomes a thing. Princess witch merging together, because I did talk about princess programming, and now it's turning into witch programming, right? And now we do Defense Against the Dark Arts class instead of witchcraft, because I've looked into all of this, you guys. It's I've done multiple shows talking about witchcraft, magic. I think I might just break out my very first book that I don't sell anymore, and we'll start going through the chapters on lives. Right? Because I think you all need to know these things, that manipulating people with lust power is witchcraft. And I guess I'm on team calendar was super tacky and / blasphemous. But maybe I'm doing something wrong, because we see my stats versus booby girl stats. I don't know. I always just thought that women are more interesting than all of their body parts. Third World Assassin says, Madonna wears a red string on her wrist because she's a Kabbalist. Yeah, exactly. Which is the core of secret societies. Yes. I have Madonna in here. She's in my notes for tonight. Definitely. She's a high priestess in the industry for sure. So everyone was down Rachel's throat about Taylor Swift using witchcraft. But I've got the receipts. I've got them for you right here. And we're going to accurately predict some future trends that are, at least already happening. Witchcore is going to be a lot more popular. But yeah, man. We're going to talk about Gerald Gardner, because if you're a witch and a feminist at the same time, you're going to have some rude awakenings when you get to the tops of these covens and places and men that you're dealing with. They're just as sex predatory as anything. So, I have looked at real magic. I have been to Hogwarts. I read books on witchcraft, Kabbalah, Hermeticism, Emerald Tablets of Thoth, Kybalion, Manly P. Hall. I've been to the Philosophical Research Society. I've been to the Temple of the Rosicrucians. I have been to more Freemasonic temples than I can remember. I have... What are the rabbit holes? Atlantis, Egyptology, Golden Dawn, OTO, Wicca, you name it. That's why I'm not even mad at witches. That's like being mad at a homeless person or something. That they're so lost. I'm more mad at stupidity and people not taking these things seriously at all than I am mad at actual people caught up in these things. Because the reason I talk about this is because I want to convince you to come out of that like I did. Not that I was like super deep into anything dark and upper echelons of anything, but it definitely left me with some wounds and scars and decisions that I might not have made if I had proper thinking like I do now. What do you guys think? You're being quiet. You're just listening to me like good little Defense Against the Dark Arts students. Third World Assassin says they pervert God. They think they are gods. God made the universe. They didn't. Yeah. Exactly. So I know what I'm saying. I'm not just like a pearl-clutching Puritan. I've been through the forest, and I want to tell you, don't go into that forest because you're just going to get lost and there's monsters in there. So stay out of this witchcraft. What else is going on? We battle against powers and principalities. Exactly. Yeah. It's a spiritual war. So, magic is real. That's one of my theses in my books and what we talk about. and it's being used against you. And it is inherently sexual, and this is how kids get abused. And I don't know how we're gonna get around that tonight, talking about that subject matter, but that really is the crux of it. Is like, you know, a magic wand is a phallic symbol, so when you're putting that in kids' hands, you're gonna have a bad time. So yeah, Witch Core goes along with the princess programming. I think the classic witch aesthetic is going to become more and more mainstream. I think broomsticks and pentagrams, you're going to be seeing more like even gore and goat's heads. I mean, do you remember that a couple months ago they came out with that Baphomet, the rainbow Baphomet at Target? And that's why I titled it Out of the Broom Closet. And that's also the name of a thread I found on TikTok about this girl who has about 90 celebrities in her list of celebrity witches. Someone says, Gillian Seed 83 says, thank you for trying to protect ourselves. Shout out to Jay for his awesome last stream, and finally shout out to Basil Analyzer if he's here, because we love him. 2024, let's go. Yeah. Thank you. We need to shame the Etsy chakra thoughts harder. I don't want to. I do think these things are shameful. But, you know, if anything, I'd want people to think of me as, you know, like a sassy aunt that's trying to protect you or help you not hurt yourself, or, you know, it's not that I'm trying to start a war with a witch. It's like if I was going through the park and I saw a baby eating dirt, I'd say, no, baby, stop eating dirt, you know, like, where's your mom? That's how I feel about girls getting into witchcraft. Like, don't eat dirt. You're better than that. I know it makes you feel powerful. I know it makes you feel like you have agency. And we talked about that on the show we did. Jay and I did that Teen Witch stream a couple months ago. Yes, Aunt Jamie. I just love you guys. I don't want to see you get hurt. Stop eating dirt, my babies. Someone says, shaming works for women if you have an intact family, but most don't. I don't know, No, I was never a witch. I just was studying lots of magic and occult and mind control and reading all kinds of different books simultaneously to get kind of a grasp on what's going on. All this witchcraft has to do with MK Ultra and the New Age, which I've done multiple shows about. So yeah, a lot of the witch tropes that I've noticed is that they are scorned women. Right? Maleficent was about that. But this witch core, how does that connect to princess programming? So this book talks about fashion being the witch's best friend. We've done that show about the Balenciaga. We've done the shows about Zoolander. We've done the shows about old, oh, here's the connection. Michelle LeMay. I don't know how to say that. Lamy or LeMay. She is a famous Hollywood witch and married to a designer. Doesn't she look like a nice lady? So she's friends with the Kardashians. Should I play a TikTok about that lady? What do you guys think? See? Michelle LeMay. She wore her husband's head to a fashion show.
Here that she posted on Instagram.
No.
Shh.
Quiet.
All right, today we're going to talk about.
No, be quiet. Okay.
Meteorological Agency has since.
Oh, and they were just talking about gold juice again today. Remember that? Did you guys hear about gold juice? Here's the one about Michelle, Lamy, Michelle Lamy.
Michelle Lamy. She's a 78-year-old fashion designer from France, currently married to the American fashion designer Rick Owens. Here she is wearing his head on her body during Fashion Week. And not only that, through the years, she's developed close relationships with ton celebrities, including A$AP Rocky. A$AP Rocky mentions Rick Owens in his music a lot, if you're familiar. Here's another picture of A$AP doing the Satanic ritual in the beginning of his career. Not only that, Michelle is very close with another coven, the Kardashians. Starting to make sense? I would like...
So there's one of them. Also, you've got Obama Witch. I have a whole card on her. AC sends $5. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Send me money so I keep my clothes on. And I'll sing you a song. Yeah, Zoolander was right. Like, we were talking about that the other day about polycules and thruples and stuff. Like, that was in Zoolander too. Owen Wilson was part of the whole group was married to each other. Remember that? No, gold juice is something. Taryn Manning went on Whitney Cummings' podcast, and she was the one who starred in that movie Crossroads with Britney Spears, and she was on Orange is the New Black, and she said that people in Hollywood approached her like several times trying to get her to drink something called gold juice, and she never did. And apparently this is like something that gives you phenomenal cosmic powers and immortality. So weird stuff coming out of Hollywood. Where were we? Oh yeah, fashion, which is best friend. So you got Michelle LeMay and her husband, the fashion designer, and they are very well connected in Hollywood. Anton LaVey, in this book, he would say the uniform of the prostitute is virtually little different than the uniform of the complete witch. Yeah. J.C. Owens says, Peele wrote The Power of Positive Thinking, which the foundation of the occult book The Secret was built on. Yeah, all these manifest. See, this is how they creep in. Like, they creep in with yoga, like New Age, mysticism, Buddhism, Zen, positive thinking, self-improvement. And before you know it, you're doing full-blown witchcraft. And there's so many different kinds, too. I mean, in this little kid's book, I guess we can read a little bit out of it in a minute. But this made me think of Hocus Pocus. So remember back in the 90s, Hocus Pocus? 1993? where the three children defeated the evil witches, which was Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker and who's that other lady? I can't remember her name. But they were trying to live forever by sucking the life force from children. They were taking the juice, the gold juice from the kids, and wheezing the juice, and trying to live forever. And then the sequel that came out in 2022 was very different. This was when the witch sisters return. Oh, and the poor third witch lady, who I can't remember her name, she had like maybe an injury. She had like palsy or something wrong with her face. Maybe it could have been like a stabby injury or something. But this one, they come back to the future and they're local heroes who are emulated by the townspeople, and the three teen girl witches must empathize with them and carry on their witch traditions. So just within like 30 years, it went from witches are something that steals the life force from children to local heroes. And the shopkeeper in that movie was really weird too. Like, if you go watch it, you'll see what I mean. Lying in Zion gives $5. Wake up. It's the first of the month. Amazing streams. Keep it up. A. Thank you. $5. I will keep it up. We've got 122. It is January 1st. We're having fun. We've got Technar Graphics. We've got Jethro. We've got Third World Assassin. Thank you, mods, for putting the dono chat links in there. I haven't even sang one song. What's up, you guys? No music lovers tonight? Hocus Pocus had the worst. It had like a big musical number. It's not awesome. Edward said Monsters Inc. was about scaring kids and taking their fear energy or life force. Sound familiar? Exactly. Monsters Inc. and the sequel to The Shining, Dr. Sleep, I think it's what's called. They do that. They suck the life force out of the kids. So Hocus Pocus. Oh, and the O in Hocus Pocus looks like that. Do you need me to explain what this little spiral is? If you don't know what the spiral is, just go look up the FBI's dossier on child predators. Just look up FBI's child predator symbols. You'll get that spiral. Right? What's up, Mella? What's up, Veritas? Samuel Hoover? Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, the child can't... Yeah, exactly. Princess Diana would say that the queen would make her watch Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Yep. Rusty Beltway says, I've been watching Bewitched reruns on late night TV. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a second when I talk about this documentary I watched. So, we're just getting out of Witchcore. Princess Programming is going into Witchcore. We talked about real magic. Let's talk about Marina Abramovic for a second, because I don't see how you guys can't see Michelle Lammy and Marina Abramovic and all these other witches. I've got this girl on TikTok has 90 TikToks about celebrity witches in Hollywood. Yeah, Bewitched normalizes the witch trope for boomers, and it took it out of that idea that the witch is ugly and like haggish, and it made her a feminine, trad wife. Like, so this is a weird contrast, like trying to make a witch into a trad wife, with her witch powers, right? So Marina Abramovic, yeah, you all remember right before the election in 2016, the WikiLeaks released those emails about PIZZA, right? It was from Marina to Tony Podesta, who was the brother of Hillary's campaign chairman, John, and you all know the story, right? They were inviting him to her art institute for a $10,000 intimate dinner party called Spirit Cooking. And then you can find pictures of Marina's performance where she smears symbols on the wall with animal blood, with breast milk, with semen, with blood and urine. She's put this recipe up, remember? Someone said Marina Obama, which would get her clock cleaned by Big Mike Obama. Probably. So, this is a lady who's famous in Hollywood for her mock cannibal dinner parties, right? And she's got pictures of her, like portraits of her sitting on top of bloody cow bones. I think that one's called Balkan Baroque, which was like some performance that she was doing in 1997 in Venice, where she won the Golden Lion for Best Artist. And then y'all remember her standing on, or next to Jacob Rothschild in that painting called Satan Summoning His Legions. Remember that? And this is at the Royal Academy of Arts in London. So she's well connected. In 2020, she was hired by Bill Gates to do a video, like a video ad for her HoloLens 2, which that didn't really take off, I'm glad. But the HoloLens 2 is like this headset designed for mixed reality, they called it. And it was up for less than a week before being given 24,000 thumbs down on YouTube. So at least there are some people that don't want to see this Obama witch stuff. And then in 2021, they unveiled her piece of art installation, some like a crystal rock wall that she built to the victims of the Holocaust in Ukraine, called Crystal Wall of Crying, and that was attended by Zelensky and the presidents of Israel and Germany, and it is linked symbolically to the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem. So here is a Hollywood confirmed witch, spirit cooker, pizza head, friend of Jay-Z, old friend of Jay-Z, Marina Abramovic. So all you dum-dums on Twitter, on X, I'm sorry, saying just because Taylor Swift puts on a hood doesn't mean she's a witch. And that's not even what I'm saying, Dorcas. If you listen, I'm saying they're all under mind control, and they're using witchcraft as part of that scientific application of black magic to put people under mind control. That's what I'm saying. So and if you can't even grasp that this witchcraft is real, then you'll never grasp that about the mind control. Like that's even probably too far for your brainlet. Y'all remind me of that Wojak with the sunken in head and the drool. Not you guys. People who just mock this stuff and they don't take it seriously. Yeah, they break the person down and rebuild them in the image of the initiate. Exactly. Spirit hooker. Yep. Where's my songs, guys? It's been 45 minutes and no songs. What's up, Heidi? What's up, Edward? There's no Wojaks in here, no brainlets, no drooly toaster head Wojaks in my chat. Rick Cartman says, Abramovic was hired by Zelensky recently as a school ambassador. What? That's crazy. So, high priestesses, what pop stars will you always see using a fusion of witchcraft and mind control? So let's talk about a couple of those besides Taylor, besides Beyonce. Of course, you've got number one Madonna. She made the Kabbalah mainstream. She is famous for blasphemy. I have a slideshow that I made that goes along with this talk that I'm reading from. And it has pictures from her latest Vogue, like European Vogue, which was just all blasphemy. It was like replacing the Last Supper, and she's replacing the Theotokos, and it was just really gross. But this is her thing. Like, that's what she does. She takes it way too far, right? And a huge part of, witchcraft and Satanism is blasphemy. The holy things. So she's the one that initiated Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera into the Hollywood cult with the Skittles kiss. And that's why you guys will see that I called this Out of the Broom Closet, because it has to do, these things go hand in hand. The more witchcraft you see, the more Skittles stuff you're going to see. First pop culture reference I can think of that was overtly about that was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You remember the character Willow and Tara, which Tara is like probably one of the worst characters of all time in television ever. But yeah, they were the Wiccan couple. Remember? Edward says, want to thank you, Jamie and Jay, for all you do. You're welcome. I will keep it up. Florence and the Machine has a lot of witchcraft symbolism in her music. Her video, Shake It Out. Shake it out, shake it out. Shake it out, shake it out. Oh, whoa. Yep. Okay, the first song of the night. It's hard to dance with the devil on your back. So shake it out. That is kind of a Eyes Wide Shutty theme, isn't it? Shake it out, shake it out. Yeah, we like Florence and the Machine music. Do not like Madonna music. I think Madonna sounds terrible. So I will not be singing Madonna. Right? But she says that her performances are like sermons. She had that 2012 Super Bowl. She had the Grammys. We all know about the Madonna stuff. So, and then you have Katy Perry. I put number 2 for witch symbolism in her concerts. Obviously, Dark Horse. She was the classic witch. She came out with her debut song called I Kissed a Girl. Go look up her video called Cry About It Later. It's a cartoon version. Maybe I'll just get a still from that and show you. But it's your classic, bewitched witch on a broom. Cry about it later. Cry about it later. It's not even a bad song. I mean, it's a bad song, but it's a cute song. Here we go. So there's Cry About It Later. Can you see? There's some stills from it. Very classy. And also, this has a Skittles kiss in it. Hope for Me 97 199. Woo woo witchy woman, see how high she flies. Is that Stevie Nicks? I don't know. Cry about it later. Cry about it later. Yeah. And then Taylor Swift, Willow, Sam Smith. I mean, that's past witchy. That's right to Satan, because witches think that they're not Satanists, but they are. Anyone who wants to come on here and argue with me about that, if there's any witchy ladies who need deliverance, we can argue about that. And then Gen Z is going to be very witchy. I don't know about Gen Alpha. I don't know if they're going to be brainlets or not. It's not looking good, bruv. All those teacher talks about what's going on in school today. But Gen Z is going to be into witchcore aesthetic. Some of the new ones are Melanie Martinez, who also has many symbols of the monarch mind control. She's got split dyed hair. She's got alter personalities. On her album K-12, her altar goes through a portal with an immortal angel called Lilith. And this Lilith is a witch archetype from the Talmud, demon and succubus. Her altar crybaby is an extraterrestrial looking thing with 2 sets of eyes. So, should I make a bingo? Where is the whiteboard? We'll get that tiny little whiteboard, and I'm going to make a bingo. And every time something like this lines up, we're going to do it. Like, it's always aliens, alters, alter personalities, butterflies, past life stuff. I know I made that grid for my book, but it's like Melanie Martinez checks off all of the boxes. She's got a song called Death. She rises from the grave as a butterfly with 2 sets of eyes. Another one I found was named Bella Porch. Her Instagram has a bunch of mind control and witchcraft on it. And then poor old Hermione Granger. Remember, it's Leviosa, not Leviosa. Dan R. Bjorn Gronvik says, have you heard about Damien Eccles, Jamie? Yeah. They were some teen killers, right? That Johnny Depp was trying to help. Like, celebrities got involved somehow. Was that the West Memphis? Something like that, right? Witchcore. Yeah, witchcore. Witchcore is gonna be big. Cry about it later. yeah, Hermione has said on her Instagram more than once that she's an actual witch. And then poor Daniel Radcliffe. No, let's not talk about that. Or maybe we should. I don't know. This is YouTube. How weird can we get? Because what I'm telling you guys is all of this witchcraft and magic, especially like when, you know, you are giving kids Harry Potter, putting that old phallus right in their hand. I found this story. Daniel Radcliffe, remember him? Harry Potter himself. In an interview, he opened up about his one biopic movie in which he had to make love with a man, saying it was effing painful experience, even though he loved filming the movie. I mean, this is just a scene, right? Why is it? That's so weird. But that's poor little Daniel Radcliffe. Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter. Pim Oros says, Emma Watson wanted to be an SEX symbol. She tried to get the 50 Shades of Grey role. No, Hermione, don't do that. So classical magicians are going to say that magic is the art and science of causing change to occur in conformity with your will. The dictum is love under will. And the purpose of it is to get in touch with your guardian angel. But I found a picture of the so-called guardian angel in an Arthur C. Clarke book, and it looks just like a demon. And if you read closely, and if you look into Kenneth Grant and the stuff that I've been talking about for the past couple months, both the will and the magic wand refer to the phallus. It's not what you think it is. It's all just Coomer cults, you guys. It's not magic. Okay? Crowley stated in the Book of Lies, in a poem called The Gun Barrel, mighty and erect, this will of mine, this pyramid of fire, I am but a hollow tube to bring down fire from heaven. So, that's not Coomer magic. I don't know what it is. So he also identified the phallus with the dying gods Osiris and Dionysus, because it becomes, you know, it dies and it comes back. How does this apply to witchcraft? Well, the witches worship the maypole and the phallus in their witches' sabbat. And so this is all still, that's why I said the feminists are gonna get mad, because it's still phallocentric, right? And if you look up what the guardian angel looks like according to Arthur C. Clarke, it is a nasty, it looks like something out of like Hellraiser, or like it looks like a guy with no skin. It's gross. So I'm trying to spell it out for you, because I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want all you babies eating dirt. And so these things used to be more hidden than they are today. You know, before, when I would point out the devil to people, it would be somewhat alarming, but now it's so passé and saturated, like Sam Smith or The Weeknd, or like whatever giant performance just happened, it's going to probably look satanic. And now I have the added task of explaining why this is a bad thing, and it's not just done in an artistic, like, tongue-in-cheek way. So That's why I'm trying to spell it out for you. Because the more I learned about magic, the more I was convinced that humanity was, under a spell in a literal sense, and now they call it mass formation psychosis. And this is, before that came out, it was me trying to explain how actual sorcerers are using occult, pharmakia, like little drugs, LSD, that stuff, to mind control the human race and conform it in their image. Constantine says the video Jay did on Anya Taylor-Joy was pretty eye-opening. Lots of witchcraft imagery in her. Yeah, she's on that TikTok list of that girl who made 90 celebrity witches. Doja Cat is, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And when I first started reading all of this stuff, I wrongly thought that there was difference between white and black magic. I thought there was, a good magician and an evil sorcerer. But I'm here to tell you that both the right and the left-hand path of magic leads to the very same place. Madness. What is it? Corazon. Ego death. Just, when I was at my lowest, it wasn't hundreds of esoteric tomes that held the keys to the secrets of the universe that saved me. It was Christ, It wasn't crystals and herbs. And that's a funny thing where, if you could write a Venn diagram where witches and creationists like overlap, it's herbal remedies and natural cures. And that's why I think a lot of women get sucked into witchcraft, because they are trying to get away from the actual pharmakeia, which is the, pharmaceutical industry, the sorcery of the drugs. So I'm trying to save you a lot of time, you guys, on roads that go nowhere. We've got a big chat, and we've got a lively, fun mods tonight. Tech War Graphics. We've got Third World Assassin. Gillian Seed 83 says, dude, there's a few Florence songs that are occult, and her whole Ceremonials album is occult AF, but I love it. No light, but the light in your bright eyes. Never knew daylight could be so violent. Yeah. She's definitely using it. Oh, we got some donuts. Thank you for the donuts. Blue Skittle, no message, $5. Thank you. Daniel Flores, thank you for the stream. This is for a Peter Gabriel song. If you feel like singing, God bless. Okay, $5 Peter Gabriel sing. How does it go? I am standing up in the water's edge in my dreams. Do-do-do-do. Do not hear a single thing but you scream. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Oh, Red Rain, that's it. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I'll have to think of another one. KSSO, $5. Great work, has always been following you, Jay, for a long time. Thank you for following us. I am standing, red rain is coming down. What's that pretty one that he sings? Book of Love is long and boring. That's a cute one. No one can lift the damn thing. It's full of charts and facts and figures and instructions for dancing. But That's Peter Gabriel, right? I love it when you read to me. Veritas Eterna. Only magic I like is my Fire Stick. Is that your Amazon Fire Stick? Okay, what are we doing? So the point I'm trying to tell you, save you a lot of time, boils down to all magic is inherently schmexual by nature. Anytime you introduce magic to your child, whether you think it's innocent like Disney or it's hardcore like Aleister Crowley, you are involving them in a SCX ritual. So, you know, I'm not condemning you, but you need to know that magic is nothing but a way of grooming children for things that they know nothing about. This is not my opinion. This is a matter of understanding Luciferian doctrine and reality. And that's why I get mad at people on Twitter X for just dismissing these things out of hand. Like I haven't been studying this for 20 years. And if I don't fully convince you in 30 minutes or less, like you're gonna just invalidate an entire proposition. I don't know. People, you guys, I need to stop going on Twitter. It just makes me mad. Chicks get into magic, guys play video games. Well, guys get into magic through fantasy. I mean, they play D&D, they play Star Wars and all of that other sci-fi. Video games are also magic. You can have a lot of esoteric and occult in a video game. Chicks get into crystals and healing and herbs and, you know, spices. Sing Drones by Muse. I don't know drones. All I know by Muse is mama 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 mad 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 mama 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 mad mad mad. Third World Assassination says video games are magic. They have imprisoned the masses with light. Yeah. Yeah. Building fantasy worlds, that's magic. But tonight we're talking specifically about witchcraft and bitchcraft and Baphomet and the lust power of the conservative dads and their tacky corn. That is corn, bro. That is corny AF. What else did I do? Okay, so I watched a documentary called The Witches of Hollywood 2022. And they're talking about the witch is an iconic figure of transgressive womanhood or transgressive femininity. So the witch is the one that is feared by men. And they're contrasting, you know, the image of the witch, like, let's say from Shakespeare's Macbeth, which is like a hag, or, you know, Goya's paintings of the Witch's Sabbath. If you haven't seen those, look it up, the artist Goya, with the beautiful witches of Hollywood, such as Snow White's mother, or stepmother, the evil queen. So they go back in time and they start talking about the Malus Maleficarium. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that. It's like this tome, the Witch's Hammer, that they say that inquisitors and magistrates used to use as a witch hunting manual. Which it always kind of cracks me up when they talk about like burning at the stake and stuff, because I think that's fake news, dude. I think that there was not as many witch hunts and burnings as they want you to think there was. Because that's definitely not the Orthodox Church's way of dealing with this kind of stuff. I don't know, there could have been a lot of unhinged Catholic inquisitors, but they say that 60,000 people in the Western world were executed this way. I just don't know. It's kind of suspect to me. I mean, I could see that possibly real witches and Satan worshippers use burning at the stake as a diversion. That's typical narcissist sociopath behavior, to accuse someone else of something that you're doing, take the focus off of you, and make a scapegoat of someone else. So that's something I could see. I could also see real witches and Satanists using burnings to eliminate competition. So it could be, both and. Right. Horse noise. What's up, horse noise? Someone says makeup is black magic. Well, there is a case for that. Was it the Book of Enoch was talking about how one of the fallen angels taught women how to do makeup? Yeah, the fallen taught men to make armor and weapons, as well as enchant with runes. $60,000 is way off. Is it more or less than you think than that? Yeah, Paul Casino says Tom Brady said his wife cast spells to help. Yeah, Giselle, so she would had a portable altar that he could take to the stadium. And she absolutely would talk about doing witchcraft to help them win football games. Yeah, so this documentary, Witches of Hollywood's talking about all the witches being burned at the stake, blah, blah, blah. I've been told this is not even an Orthodox approach. I don't know how they punish criminals and stuff in the Byzantine Empire, but, Jesus performed exorcisms, and the person was healed and left unharmed. We don't burn people at the stake to get rid of demons. Witches in the church don't have as much power as they think they do. We do prayers of exorcisms before you are baptized. They can do special prayers over you if you think you're being stalked by a demon or oppressed or what have you, but we don't burn people alive. Trying to still think of another Peter Gabriel song that's worth $5 that I know. Jack O'Brien, I'm searching you, feel my way through the slowest evening night. Whatever fear invents, I swear it makes no sense. I reach out through the border fence. Come on, come talk to me. There it is. Please talk to me. Come on, talk to me. Yeah, I did a show on the Book of Enoch, one of my first shows a couple years ago with Kristen. We were talking about Book of Enoch. So we don't burn people. Disney's Snow White then was one of the first in Hollywood to introduce the attractive fantasy vamp witch along with the classic old crone. Remember, she was like magic mirror on the wall lady, because she was all beautiful, and then she took the potion and she became the old crone, and that's how she tricked Snow White into taking the apple. So this is an example of a witch talking again about destroying the youth of a young girl to advance her own power. And this is what you're going to see again and again in the classic witch motif, is that witches hate children. We just watched, we're going to do a weird kids movie stream. Jay and I are going to do it. And we watched The New Witches with Anne Hathaway. And there again, it was about how witches hate children. And that kind of checks out because of all of the, unaliving of the fetuses and the witchcraft conversation. So the evil queen is beautiful and cruel. She's willing to destroy her young girl. She is in her full moon phase, as they would call it in witchcraft. It's the triple moon goddess, right? The waxing moon, the waning moon, and the full moon. And the witch queen from Snow White, was actually based on the femme fatales of Hollywood at the time, Joan Crawford and Greta Garbo. Speaking of Snow White, the scene with the 7 dwarfs snoring is based on the time Walt Disney went to Bohemian Grove and complained about how he could hear all the other men snoring in their tents at night. So can you imagine Walt Disney at Bohemian Grove? Did you know he went there? That's crazy. J.C. Owens says, a common price paid in exchange for the magic is for a female to give up her chance at motherhood. Yeah. That's in Tangled, too. The mom is stealing the youth from her by taking her hair. Remember? Someone said, I tried to get my girlfriend back holding my boombox playing In Your Eyes outside my girlfriend's window. I'm still extracting buckshot from my glutes. Yeah, don't do that. Only John Cusack can do that. That's not for us mortals. It's only for Cusacks. Yeah, triple goddess, maiden, mother, matron. So other examples of witches in Hollywood, we've got Wizard of Oz, that brought this idea of a good witch, Glinda, and bad witch, I don't know her name, Wicked Witch of the East. I've seen that play Wicked a bunch of times. I should know it. Elphaba. How about that? Her name's Elphaba. So you've got the idea that only bad witches are ugly. And then I did watch a movie called I Married a Witch, 1942, with Veronica Lake. Let's finish talking about the documentary and then we'll talk about I Married a Witch. John Cusack? Yeah. Only John Cusack can play Peter Gabriel on the boombox. Another classic movie about witches was Bell Book and Candle in 1958, and then you have that TV show Bewitched, 1964, where she tries to become the perfect mother/wife without magic. She wants to be a normal suburban housewife, because before, the witch was, the outsider. She was the Baba Yaga, the weird lady that lived in the woods, right? Almost kind of like a feral lady. But now, Hollywood is trying to make it a little more refined, make it a little more palatable, saying you can retain your witch powers while also having a family. And Bewitched is one of the first examples of that, because she's trying to get away from her magic family. So she only tries to rely on her powers as a last resort, This is part of the foibles of the show, is like she ultimately always has to do that little wiggle her nose to get out of a sticky situation. I Dream of Jeannie, yeah. Technographics says, every time I hear about the musical Wicked, I think of South Park episode with Randy. I don't know if I've seen that one. Tell me more. Third Old Assassin said that Disney witch show, The Witch, has a husband who is metal and a robot, but also he is the devil. Weird. Okay. So you've got Bewitched. So this kind of subverts the witch-wife dynamic, saying that you can be both. You can have both. Her mom in Bewitched is the sassy, bitter, single witch that doesn't trust men, right? And then there's something that I found out about. I don't know, forgive me if you guys have already knew about this or talked about it. It's a feminist group called the Women's International Terrorist Conspiracy from Hell. I had never heard of this before. Maybe in Rachel's book, but I don't know. So the Women's International TR Conspiracy from Hell, witch for short, they were trying to reappropriate the image of the witch as a way to denounce the link between patriarchy and capitalism. So there's these cycles that these generations are going through. Like, the words patriarchy and capitalism were not in our vocabulary as teenagers. We were not talking about dismantling, systems. We were just having fun in the 90s. So it's just really strange that in this 1968, they're talking about denouncing patriarchy and capitalism with witchcraft. I guess that skips the millennials, because that's not what we were doing when we were young. But it's back now. And so this feminist witch group would pass out leaflets. It says they adopted the witch cult hypothesis by claiming that those persecuted as alleged witches in European history had been members of a surviving pre-Christian pagan religion, which the Christian authorities then sought to suppress. That old chestnut, right? In their manifesto, Witch propagated the erroneous claim that 9 million women have been burned to death. 9 million! So, this documentary says 60,000. This feminist group from 1968 says 9 million women burned to death during the witch trials of the early modern period. That's ridiculous. This claim has originated with the first wave feminist Matilda Jocelyn Gage. It says witch declared that any woman could become a witch by declaring herself to be one, and that moreover any group of women could form a witch's coven. In one of their leaflets, it is stated that if you are a woman and dare to look within yourself, you are a witch. You make your own rules. You are free and beautiful. You can be invisible or evident in how you choose to make. See, what is the difference between this and libertarianism? And that's why that calendar is so stupid. And witchcraft. Because isn't libertarianism just do what thou wilt? I don't know. Someone argue with me so I can make my point. But so, yeah. Then you've got Hollywood doing the dual portrayal of the witch as a free spirit, but also an evil figure, such as with the witches in Rosemary's Baby, 1968. So even then, they are presenting two different kinds of witch depending on what your alignment is, right? This also coincides with the birth of the corn industry. Surprise, surprise. Movies start coming out called Mark of the Witch, Satan's Cheerleaders, The Touch of Satan. So now you've got your nudie magazines perfectly aligning up with this resurgence of feminism and witchcraft. And I guess I found all of these like witch media books and magazines with the covers so you can see. Here's a book, Eros and Evil. This is about that time. But they're linking up sexuality, witchcraft, and feminism. Then you've got the Process Church. Here's another publication. Witchcraft. Witchcraft Today. Living Nude with Anton LaVey on the cover. Bizarre. There's another Church of Satan with her as the altar. Witchcraft 1970. Wow, this cover. What is this? A movie? Witchcraft 70. Here's the cover. It says, see actual human sacrifice on the bloodstained altar of Baal. See weird demonic rites of the cult of Kali. See erotic prayers to the goddess of the cloven hoof. See macabre orgies of a secret sect of evil. See the Church of Satan celebrate its infamous Black Mass. See occult manifestation in the Coven of the Dead. See the sensual ecstasies of hippie families. Oh, that's another thing we're going to talk about in a second. Like, all of these cults are just coom cults trying to get a harem of women. Here's some other media from the time period. It's all just gross. Super gross. So you've got feminism, you've got witchcraft, you've got corn, you've got your Italian movies like Black Sunday and Suspiria. They've got witches in them. And then you've got your whole teen witch genre popping off in 1976 with Carrie, which opens up with her getting her menstrual period in the very first scene. And so it's saying a power comes with this menstruation, right? And we talked about that on Rockfin with that Kenneth Grant book. Oh, and of course they always have to throw in that whole witchcraft has nothing to do with Satanism. It's totally different, you guys. Like, I know we all do the same things and worship the same goat-headed schlong man, but it's totally different. You've got Sybil Leek, that famous old witch. I think she's in this kid's book, actually. Going on talk shows saying, oh, witchcraft isn't Satanism. It's totally different. I thought she was... Oh, yeah, here she is. Right here. So isn't this nice? For kids, a witch coven has 13 members. 13th member is the high priestess. And then old Sybil Leek on the other side. And this is like, what is this? Just a kid's book. So Sybil Leek's going around saying it's way different. Yeah, they showed a clip of her going on this show called The Amazing World of Kreskin. And she's saying the link between Satan and witches is due to bad publicity in the Middle Ages, where people, they just didn't know. They were just scared of things that they didn't understand. And then this movie talks about the witches of Eastwick, which we did a show on our witch stream a couple months ago. Jay and I did. We did The Craft, and we did Witches of Eastwick, and we did Practical Magic. I can't remember the other one. Love Witch. That was another one. But yeah, so you've got Hocus Pocus, you've got Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Charmed, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which introduced the first Wiccan Skittles couple. And then for the next younger millennials, Harry Potter, and they introduced Hermione as the nerdy witch. So, and then Maleficent. And here is a poignant, something that they pointed out is like a lot of these witches start out wanting to be good, just like Katy Perry, just like Taylor Swift, just like Britney Spears. They have this thing in them where they want to be good or thought of as good. So Maleficent starts out like an angel, right? She's flying up into the sun. She's looking all glorious, and she's like brown. She's a beautiful woodland demigod thing. And then she's violated. You know, someone comes and cuts off her wings. She has a psychotic break. She has a trauma, right? Then she becomes something else. So a witch oftentimes in these tales, and I think in real life too, is just like coming from a place of a woman being, you know, scorned or violated or traumatized. I'm not saying that they're not responsible for their actions, but these things tend to be able to be traced back to certain things. And then what they go into is women saving women from men, which is not really a thing. You know, Christ saves us, not women. Don't save women from other men. But that's the feminist message in Maleficent. Oh, and then I don't usually like to watch the show American Horror Story. I just think that's kind of over the top and gross. But when I had my tooth out, I did I put on the season with Kim Kardashian because I was curious, and whenever I am in pain or sick, I like to like watch a scary movie or something so I don't feel so bad. But I watched a couple episodes of American Horror Story Coven. It's got old Kim Kardashian as a witch in it. And this season, actually they did have a whole season about witches, but this one is about a girl who has to choose between like having a baby or being a celebrated award-winning actress. And so it's got elements of Rosemary's Baby in it, but yeah, Kim Kardashian plays like a PR person, like a witch person. And I saw this like TikTok about the Kardashians. Now that's been going around for a couple years at least, several years. They said that one of their Armenian ancestors, what was her name? Kekel Kardashian, made a pact with Armenian witches for her female descendants to have fame and money, but the men in their lives would, like, it would never work out or something. I don't know if that's real or not. But that was going around a couple years ago. But yeah, she's in American Horror Story Coven. She hangs out with Michelle Lamy. that old witch designer lady. So these degrees of separation are not that far. Oh, and then did you know there's going to be there already is a Charmed reboot with Latina girls in it. So remember that show Charmed? I hated that show. It was really stupid. I did watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but I hated Charmed. Was really dumb. So they mentioned a movie called I Married a Witch 1942, which was a Criterion Collection movie with Veronica Lake and Frederick March, called I Married a Witch, and it's really, I don't know, it was like a comedy. It was a goofy kind of, it was bizarre. I'm gonna talk about it. What else we got going on here? Donuts for songs. Yeah, so I Married a Witch starts out with like Puritans burning witches again in New England, a town called Roxford, New England. And they're treating it like it's entertainment, like it's a show, like it's they're like, come get your peanuts and watch the, witches be burned at the stake. So, and this made me think, like, I don't know about the burning the witches at the stake, but there was a lot of martyrs made in Rome and other places that were made into games, like they're saying this witch burning was. So, again, they're taking the real history of persecution of Christians at the Colosseum and stuff like that, and they're saying this happened to witches. So this Puritan dude is cursed because he accused this lady of witchcraft. They burned her. A tree was planted in the ashes, and the roots are haunted, or something like that. And his curse is that all his relationships will fail. All his ancestors or his descendants' relationships are going to fail because the tree has cursed roots. And here comes Jennifer, the witch. The witch's name is Jennifer, played by Veronica Lake. And her and her father come out of the roots like smoke, and she chooses this guy who's running for governor to like fall in love with. So the smokes go into like bottles of liquor, and like they say that every man has to marry the wrong woman in this bloodline. And somehow she gets a body, and she makes this guy running for governor save her from a fire. And she keeps asking if he likes blondes, and she's like kind of casting a spell on him. And he turns down her advances. It turns out he was a good guy. And by him explaining love to her, she becomes mortal and is able to overcome her witch past and get married and have a family. So it's kind of got like a wholesome message. But it was weird because her witchcraft is what made him win the election. And that made me think of old Ronald Reagan. They were very much into seances. Nancy Reagan and Ronald Reagan, of course, they were from Hollywood. And they introduced a lot of witchy things to the White House. Charmed was whack. Yeah, Charmed was really dumb. So, celebrity witches. And what else are we going to talk about? Oh, Gerald Gardner. Do you want me to, let's see, read you something from the Beyonce book? Beyonce for Babies. Let's see. If y'all remember last time we did a stream It was all about Queen Bee. It says, when Beyonce was a young girl, she helped her mom in the salon by sweeping the floor. She saw how hard her mom worked. She watched her mom turn ideas for the salon into reality. She's just like you and me. Beyonce loves singing and dancing. When she was 9, she auditioned for a group called Girls' Time. She was chosen to join the group along with a girl named Kelly Rowland. Beyonce, Kelly, and the rest of Girls' Time were such great performers. They competed on a television show called Star Search. This is so funny. It's just making heroes out of... Oh, look. There's Beyonce and Jay-Z. Happily married couple. Just a little happy family. And Bay is good. Bay good. So she's up there with Kamala Harris. This is what's on the back of this book. Harry Belafonte, Harriet Tubman, Barack Obama, Martin Luther King Jr. And Beyonce and Jay-Z, heroes of civil rights. Other celebrity witches you want to talk about? Oh, Megan Fox. How about that? Her and Machine Gun Kelly. I'm sure you guys have heard of their antics. Lana Del Rey. So if you want a complete list of the 90 celebrity witches that this girl has compiled, let me see if I can find it for you.
Warning along.
No. I'll put a link to it. But she's got a TikTok about 90 different celebrities. Lana Del Rey is one of them. Azalea. Oh, who actually... Didn't she say she, like, put a curse on Donald Trump or something? She put... Lana Del Rey hexed Donald Trump at one point. You guys remember that? Azalea Banks. Giselle. We talked about her. Stevie Nicks, who also was on that American Horror Story Witches season. Kesha has done a lot of occultic videos. Also said that her private parts were haunted at one point. She now has a show called Conjuring Kesha, where she goes around ghost hunting, essentially. So that's fun. Singer Lauren Uregwe calls her fans the Coven. She's from Fifth Harmony. I'd never heard of that girl before. Abigail Breslin, did we talk about her? She has an album called Witchcraft. She was on a talk show talking about how she comes from a long line of witches. And that's another thing, generational witches. And so in I Married a Witch, that movie with Veronica Lake, she's fighting her father who wants to keep her a witch, or like a puff of smoke that haunts a tree. And she's saying, no, I'd rather have a family. So she's got to keep her dad in a bottle on the mantle. There is a singer-rapper named Princess Nokia who openly does Santeria. She has a song called Bruja. She says that her goddess is Yamana. I think that's one of the voodoo goddesses. Kesha's still around. Yeah, apparently she's got a new ghost hunter show. Hey, Frankie D, what's up? Frankie D 999, God bless you. And Jay, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. This is the year of epistemology and, of course, the year of our Lord. Yes, thank you for coming. Thank you for the super chat. If you want to give me a donut, we haven't sang much. Oh, Heidi gave me a donut. 25 donuts. Thank you. Happy New Year. Keep sharing your knowledge, please. Okay. Will do. We're off to a good start this year. Streaming on January 1st. Jethro says Seinfeld with the Kesha hug denial. I never saw that. Is that a controversy? Kesha's working the corners. Yeah, I know. So, yeah. Nicole Richie, remember her? With Paris Hilton's Nicole Richie. She is now a crystal salesman. House of Harlow. If you need to buy your crystals, buy them from Lionel Richie's daughter. Vanessa Hudgens is also on this. Working the corners with her spiritual blog called Astral and Opal. Then you've got that Melanie Martinez that we talked about before. Oh, Holly Madison. Hugh Hefner's ex-girlfriend. Remember that show, Girl Next Door, about him and his 3 girlfriends. So that's where Korn again, Witchcraft, TRAFF of girls, all coalesce with old Playboy. Holly Madison calls herself Baby Witch. Grimes talks about doing witchcraft in high school. She says that a lot of her music comes from the influence of pagan gods. She talks a lot about goddess energy. She also carries a sword around a lot. I don't know what that's about. Maybe she's trying to be like Columbia or something. But there's so many more. There's like 90. Oh, did we talk about gold juice yet? We did. We talked about that at the beginning, right? So Hollywood's drinking the gold juice, getting jiggy with it. And you're going to be upset when you get to the end and all you have to show for it is mental illness and crystals and a bunch of books written by idiots and grifters and con men. So I beseech you to get out now and drop this stupid witch stuff while you still can. It's not getting you anywhere. It's not giving you any power over men or women or anything. Wicca comes from a Coomer. Let me show you a picture of this guy. Gross prevert named Gerald Gardner. Let me see if I can pull up his beautiful mug. Just to show you who is writing your books. Here's one on Wicca. That guy looks like I don't know what. A guy you want to take life advice from? Guy whose religion you want to be a part of? Oh, here, I can never tell if AI or not, but we were talking about Obama witch and Kardashian. Right. But yeah, Gerald Gardner. So all these cults are created by sex predators, okay? And they prey on women and children and men. They especially focus on people who are disillusioned by Christianity. Others target hedonistic women who lack the restraints that religious women have. So if you're like a bonfire girl, if you're like a dancing girl, if you're like a what's that place they all go to in the desert? Burning Man. Those types of free spirit girls are going to be attracted to witchcraft. Cults like Mormonism, you could be argued, is a sex cult. You know, Joseph Smith was luring teenage girls and having men give their wives to him. And this is like all cults. This is like, you know, Jim Jones, David Koresh, the cult axiom, all of your women are belong to us. This is the formula that Gerald Gardner would use, Alex Sanders would use. So if, you know, if you're a witch and you don't come for me, because I've done my homework, I know what these guys are. It's just another way to abuse women. There's no power in it. You know, the Gardner's neo-pagan Wiccan cult is another example of the same model, because he just wanted to get his hands on women. Jay always makes a joke, he just wanted to smack people's butts. And it's really true. Veritas Eterna. I'm coming for you, Jamie. I'm gonna get you. Okay. You can... I don't know why anyone would argue with me. I just want the best for you. I want you to stop putting dirt and worms in your mouth. And grow up. So yeah, the feminists and women are going to be disappointed when they join these covens and they realize it's just another way to get abused by weirdos. The rituals are very similar to LDS, especially Alex Sanders, not Alexander's. Which you can see videos sometimes on YouTube before they like take them off, but they're gross, and they are similar to the 5 points of fellowship of the LDS, which is a Masonic thing too. So the real purpose of these cults and these whack religions is to A, have weird ritual sex, or B, watch people have weird ritual sex and make business deals after, right? We party and we do orgies. The men in these things are just using their leadership to exploit people, and I've talked about that before. Gurus especially. Gurus gonna heal you with their magic phallus. They're gonna help your ego die. My ego would die if a guru ever got his hands on me. That's gross. Okay. Ooh, I got some donuts. I got 50 donuts from Gary. No message. Thank you, Gary. Happy New Year, Gary. I appreciate that. Give me a song to sing and I'll do it. There was a feminist named Z Budapest who took Wicca, Gerald Gardner's Wicca, and made it into a woman's religion. And all this stuff, Gardner's rights and the foundation of Wicca come from Aleister Crowley anyways, who was also a Freemason, just like Joseph Smith. So I think next time we do a live, I'm just going to get my first weird stuff out, and we're just going to go over the, like, basics. Basics of magic, basics of Freemasonry, OTO, Illuminati, Knights Templar, all the ABCs. What else do I got for you guys tonight? I'm having fun. We're hanging out. Got Jethro, Tech Noir, and Clint, Third World Assassin. What else do you guys want to talk about? Let's see what's in this witch book. I honestly just feel sorry for girls who say that I'm a witch. I don't hate anybody. I'm trying to help you. It's like Gandalf I'm not here to hurt you. I'm trying to help you. So this children's book about witches starts out talking about Sybil Leek. She calls herself a white magic witch because she claims to heal people and predict the future. So they call it the old religion. They say the practice of witchcraft started when the world was very young and people first began to believe there were gods. So they always do this. My religion goes back to the dawn of time. Witches believe that an enormous amount of energy flows from the Supreme Being. But mentally plugging in to this power source, the witch too becomes powerful. In a similar way to the machine gets electricity from a wall outlet, witches make this connection by using certain spells and chants. I'm trying to help you because, like, all these people, what they say, this is nature worship. This witchcraft is like just the worship of, you know, water and air and fire and whatever. But then you get into it and you're worshiping Pan. You're worshiping this goat-headed, Baphomet, horny, orgiastic goat man, and you're talking to vegetables and making the UN. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you have to see my show on Rockfin called Hidden Danger of the Rainbow about the creation of Findhorn, the nature preserved Findhorn or Findhorn, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, Scottish weirdos who are all involved with the UN, but they think that cabbages told them things and they met Pan in the forest. So I'm just trying to keep you from losing it and being demonized. I mean, Kesha said her private parts were haunted. You remember that? She had to do some kind of cleansing to get rid of a spirit that was attached to her cooter. Somebody else said that too. Another celebrity said they had like a spirit boyfriend they couldn't get rid of. It's crazy. So what else in this kids witches book? Circe? Greek? I don't know that tale. Something about... Ooh, she turned men into pigs. So that plays out. That tracks. This is what this stuff does. The Satanic witch using manipulation by how you dress and lust power to get men to do what you want. Turn them into pigs, basically. That's actually the plot of Metropolis, too. Me and Isaac talked about that a couple weeks ago. I got 10 more donuts. Anonymous says, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Merry Christmas to you too, Anon. I hope you've been a good boy. A good Anon. Don't be a bad Anon. So Circe was a witch who could make men into pigs. That's what that chapter is about. They talk about, Medea. I don't know how you pronounce that, Medea or Medea. That would make sense if it was Medea, a mythical witch. Another Greek tale. Were Circe and Medea real witches or were they myths? Chapter 5, The Burning Time. And it's always these woodcuts, right? Always witches inflamed In the woodcuts. Oh, Paul's here. Hey, what's up, hey? Better call Paul. Paul says, hi, Jamie. Blessed nativity to you. Blessed nativity. How are you? Christ is born. Glorify him. We're almost done, but I'm glad you came. What are you talking about? Anna Nicole Smith. What did she do? Yeah, so the burning time, you got the woodcuts, of course. You've got this one. And, of course, they left out the famous one of them kissing the devil's butt, right? No one wants to talk about that. Let's pull it up. Here we go. We all know this one, right? They leave that out of the kids' book. Oh, and witchcraft, it became, it was outlawed in Britain, I think, until like the 1700s. But I just saw this video of the Queen doing her druidic ritual when she was, what do you call that when Queen is crowned? So she also had to go through the druid ritual also. So, burning time of the Middle Ages. They believe the devil had a huge army of witches to help him. Yeah, like I said, I don't buy that. I don't buy 9 million. That's retarded. Oh, here's old Anton LaVey again. So, we were talking about the broomstick on Rockfin and how it's a rudimentary DILDO. Also, the use of drugs to go to the witch's Sabbath because it's an astral trip. So if you want to know more about that, you can go to the Rockfin called Rated XO. And what else? Yeah, Paul, coronation into the Druid Nation. Look that up. Queen Elizabeth Druid coronation. Well, that's pretty much all I have, and it's been 2 hours with y'all. It's been really fun. I don't have any more donuts. Do I have any more super chats? I'm glad you all came tonight to hear me talk about witches. I just want to help. I don't want these girls getting abused to the point of no return, thinking that they're all powerful witches, man. And this stuff on Twitter is just got me tripping. But I think that's all I have for tonight. And next time, yeah, let's take my first book and we'll talk about the chapter in there about magic and we'll do some more Defense Against the Dark Arts. So thank you all for coming, and have a good night.